AM 560, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Check it out right here.
Ladies and gentlemen, and now,
the 3-time sexiest man in Millington, Johnny Harden.
Yo, welcome into a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. It feels so dead-gum good to be in this seat. I got a special show for you. My good friend Ron Tillery, 1:30. Man, Isaac Simpson, I don't play no games, 2:30. Hardwood, because damn it, if it feels so good, you just got to give it to him. And then, of course, I'm going to start things off with the leadoff. But today, right before we get to the leadoff, my friend Richard Coleman, he's going to join us right now. The reason I'm bringing him on is because there is the Great Cycle Challenge that's going on. Now, we have the Grizzlies who play today. By the way, I don't know if you know this. I got my Believe Memphis. Check that bad boy out if you're watching us on Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, or Instagram. I got my Believe Memphis mask out, baby. I'm believing. Let's get this win. No Giannis. They're a 3-point favorite. I think, Portland's going to do their thing, but I just want to see them playing Saturday. I actually think Portland's going to end up winning that Joker and playing the Lakers. But just to get into the play-in game on Saturday on ABC would be so awesome, and I think it would be so big for the Grizzlies, this young team. So I'm excited about today. 3 o'clock, that is going down. 2:30, Isaac. 1:30, Russell Copeland. And Gabe Kuhn's going to do the leadoff. But right now, I got to talk about the Great Cycle Challenge. A friend of mine named Richard Coleman, one of the classiest dudes on planet Earth. And I'm going to be honest with you, years ago, this kind of thing snowballed. He's an amazing human being. He's a teacher at Farmington Elementary School. He's just like a normal guy, but he's turned superhero. He's going to ride 564 miles to help fight cancer. He's right now currently 5th in the state. So I need all of my friends, all the people out there who have dealt with cancer, who have fought cancer, who know somebody who has dealt with cancer. Cancer sucks. Let's just be real. There's no other word I can say except for words I can't say. But the nicest word I can say on the radio about cancer is it just sucks. And we're going to help fight it. And I'm going to tell you the history behind the Great Cycle Challenge. I'm going to let Richard tell you the history, and I'm going to let him tell you what's going on. But I want you to remember, he's 5th in the state. I want all of y'all to go to GreatCycleChallenge.com. Click on Richard Coleman to donate. I will retweet this link at Johnny_radio. I know Gabe will do it. We're going to do it from our Sports 56 app. All this is very important to me, but first and foremost, I want to bring in the important man that is my friend Richard Coleman. Richard, how are you doing today?
Hey, John, how you doing, buddy?
Man, it's so good to talk to you. And, I've known you. I've met you. We got to play D'Angelo in a little, cornhole back in the day and stuff. And again, you're just a really good dude. And I wanted to just go in something that I thought that was kind of funny because, you're a teacher at Farmington. You care about people. But you heard about this thing and you were riding bikes and you found out you could have your face on Times Square.
Yeah.
And tell us about that.
I started this, how many miles I could ride a month. I had no intentions of raising money because I raise money for a lot of things. I figured, there's so many things you can raise money for. And then they said, well, if you raise $50, you can get your face on Times Square. Well, heck, I never had my face on Times Square, so might as well go for it. So, it just snowballed from there, okay? So, basically what this challenge is, you get to you get to set your own goals, your own, how many miles you want to ride, how much money you want to raise. It's all up to you. And, last year they normally hold it in June, but since COVID happened, they pushed it back to September. So, last June when, I'm out of school in June, so I can ride as much as I want to. So, I did 562 miles last year, so I figured I'll do 2 miles more this year. And my fundraising goal was, I got sidetracked because of COVID. So, it's just a lot of things we try to do differently now. And I was trying to, get your help to give me, a little boost because what this is all about is this. Back in 1979, a little girl named Katie.
Oh, thank you. I was going to ask you. Yes, you're going to give the history. By the way, there's so many things. Listen, everybody, GreatCycleChallenge.com. This is Richard Coleman, and how this whole thing started for him was basically getting his head, face on Times Square, and a great teacher from Farmington now realized how he could actually care because we live in the city of St. Jude. Again, like you said, there's so many wonderful things to give to. When you found out that about this, you really fell in love, and this is what I wanted to hear, the history of how this started.
Okay, so back in 1979, this little girl named Katie, who lived in Minnesota, she had leukemia and she was dying from it. And, the money she had saved for a 10-speed, she told her parents, she wanted to get it donated to this the Children's Cancer Research Fund at the University of Minnesota. So, she passed away, and what was supposed to be a one-time fundraiser ended up, into this cycle challenge. Now, the cycle challenge has been going on for 5 years. And in that time, they've raised about 19 million. Well, there's been 19 million riders, have done the mileage. And then they raised about 24 million, and like you said, all the, they raise money and they give grants to about 20 research hospitals and institutes throughout the country. And of course, one of them is St. Jude. So, St. Jude is, probably the most well-known children's cancer research hospital in the world. And, there's no reason why that, a guy from Memphis can't be number one in the state. So,
that's right.
And that's what I'm shooting for. So, it's like you said, somebody there's always somebody has been touched by cancer. And when it happens with a kid, it really gets to you. And, I've taught a lot of kids, and, some who's passed and some who's beat it. And, it's one of those things that, you hate seeing, but it happens. And, what we're trying to do is raise awareness for this cause. And, it's a great cause. And, I appreciate so far all the people who helped me out. And, it's just, I'm honored to do it for folks.
Man, well, I'll tell you one thing. One of my favorite people is Rick Shadiak, who's been with St. Jude raising money for them. There's over $1 million cost a day just to keep the lights on and keep doing all the wonderful things they do. Yeah. He is such an amazing human being. But I'm going to actually challenge him and all those people that love Rick Shadiak and people that love Johnny Radio's Happy Hour and people that love St. Jude and love children. Richard Coleman, he's going out there to ride 564 miles to do one thing, and that's help fight cancer. And he just wants to be number one in the state. He wants to raise the most money because every single penny, no money goes to Richard. Every single penny goes to children's cancer research. And that's the goal here. And again, as a teacher, I can't imagine, because I taught, but it was just college. But teaching young people and having to deal with, I'm sure in your lifetime you have dealt with a young person who probably came into your class, was fine, and before the end of the year he had some nightmarish news, because that's just life, unfortunately. But we can find the cure.
John, I lost one in a week's time.
Oh.
About 5 years ago. So, she was there one day and boom, she was gone 5 days later. That was how quick it was, and it was mind-boggling too. So, it's, this hits home. So, hopefully, if donate and honor somebody that
you love
or know, or you love, right? Yeah.
And or if you don't have somebody that's been affected and you're that blessed, go ahead and get that karma built up, if you know what I'm saying, man.
Yeah.
Please go to the GreatCycleChallenge.com. Please, it's just GreatCycleChallenge.com. I retweeted it at Johnny_radio. This is my friend Richard Coleman, and I can promise you one thing. He's going to get the 564 miles, and we're going to help make you the number one donor in the state. Richard, you've done it all with social media. I'm going to bring you on again. You ride like the wind blows, and we're going to do everything we can to support you, my brother.
Hey, John, I appreciate it, buddy.
Hey, thank you, Richard, and be blessed out there, my brother. That's such a great guy right there. Again, when you talk about true heroes, he is a true hero. He gets me emotional just talking about it because I've known him for a long time. Again, a teacher over at just Farmington Elementary, right down in Germantown Road. And, again, got into this, again, just, hey, I want to see how far I can ride. And I get my face on Times Square, finds out the history of it, has some issues that happen. We both have a great friend who lost somebody to cancer. And then next thing you know, he's full bore. He's lost, again, you heard him about a student, but I want him to be number one in the state. He deserves it. He's fighting his tail off, and he's never, ever asked for anybody's help. And I was just speaking with him the other day, and I was like, man, let me bring you on. Let me just ask some of my people out there, please go to thegreatcyclechallenge.com. Look at Richard Coleman. All my Twitter friends, check out my Twitter feed at Johnny_radio. Richard Coleman, I put it up right there. And again, he is what I call a local hero. What do you think, Gabe?
Absolutely, 100%. You cannot downplay what he's done, and that's impressive, though. 564 miles on a bike.
Dude, I can't do it. That's what I was
wish I
telling
could do
Richard.
that.
I know he's in so much
awesome,
better
man.
shape than me.
That's so awesome, though, and just the fact that you're raising money to help, fight cancer, and I think just about every one of us at some point in our lives have been touched at some point by somebody in our life being taken away from us due to cancer, and it's just a good thing that Richard's doing, and I think we all need to make attention and help him out in his fight to do so.
Yeah, we definitely do. And one other thing I was going to say that I do have to say, you would think, he's in so much better shape than me. You would think the one thing I probably could be like good at, he thought I was going to be good at this, is called, what's that, the thing you throw the sack in?
Oh, gosh.
Cornhole.
Cornhole, yeah.
So we were like playing.
They have the Cornhole Championships on ESPN too now.
Oh, now they have championships. Well, we were just like playing D'Angelo one day, and we were just having fun. And he was like, he's so athletic. And he's like, you drink a lot of beer, you're probably good at this. I could not get one of those damn things.
Well, you got to throw it a certain way. You got to underhand it, obviously, and you spin it,
and
you spin it,
and it go, dude.
and it dies. You're supposed to let it die on the board.
And I was horrible.
You were missing, yeah.
I didn't do very good.
It happens.
Richard kind of looked at me. He's like, damn, I thought you drank a lot. I'm like, well, I don't play this game a lot, man. But anyway, it is time. It's Sports 56 Happy Hour. You heard my good friend at G_Coon71. Gabe Coon's going to be with me, and we're about to step in the box. Before I step in the box, I got to say one thing. Never forget Chad Gatlin as well, MemphisFarmers.com, because if you're struggling, or if you need auto, home, life, business, life insurance, anything, trust me, MemphisFarmers.com has your back. Chad Gatlin is the one. He's the man. He's the myth. He's the living legend. I love him to death. I trust him. I believe in him. And I don't give people out their information unless I use them. And that's the other thing. If I haven't used you or don't know much about you or don't check you out, you're not going to be on this show. 901-235-1176. He's the real deal, Holyfield. But Gabe, I'm in the box. That's what she said.
All right, let's start with the state of baseball. Is it me, or has there been it seems like there's been a lot of complaining about the statistics of this baseball season. You have a lot of guys that are normally really, really good, really statistic heavy, and they are down. You look at Christian Yelich. I think he's way down. He's batting about 100, but he has been speeding up lately. But I feel like I've seen a lot of older fans
go nuts
about it, more or less.
Kindly.
Do you think that the lack of statistics and numbers is ruining the season at all?
I totally disagree with this take. I saw somebody come out and say how Corona has not just ruined 2020, but it's ruined all of baseball. And I just want to bring this to you. Listen, if you love baseball, and like I did, I grew up fans with my friends and all these people loving baseball, and I'm not going to lie to you. One of the main attraction was the statistics, the numbers, the comparing of eras, arguing with my dad about this guy's better than this old guy or whatever. That was part of it, but coronavirus has been a big problem for these. But can I chronicle some things and also remind you of one of my favorite expressions? How many times have I said on this show, Mark Twain, he lamented, there's lies, damn lies, and statistics. And if you don't think that I actually passionately express the grief of these older people, I do, because I understand them. But I also can look back and tell you why Mark Twain is 100% right. Dude, pitchers, you automatically got a ticket to Cooperstown with 300 wins, didn't you? 500 home runs. And if you got 3 MVPs, you were a lot, Junt. You know what I'm saying? Those things that I was going to say. But can I ask you a question? Phil Niekro won 318 games, despite I don't think he could throw the ball hard enough to get a speeding ticket in Manning Lane. And I think it's 18 miles per hour. I mean, you got Barry Bonds, by the way. Is he in Cooperstown? Do you want to hear these numbers? His WAR is 162.8, the highest. In 9,847 at-bats, he hit 762 home runs. His career batting average is 299. He has 2,227 runs, and he has 1,996 RBI. He also stole 514 bases, the only member of the 500-500 club. Yes, I'm not making this up. His career on-base percentage is .444. Think about that. And his slugging, .607, meaning he has a 1.015. By the way, nobody has 7 MVPs but Barry Bonds. And this is going to really mess your head up. You know he finished twice also in the voting? Almost got 9. But in his 22-year career, he finished in the top 5 of MVP voting 13 times. 13 times he was considered as one of the top 5 players in baseball. Won it 7 damn times. Is he in Cooperstown? Nope, it's because of this perceived juicing. But again, every era, we have uppers, we have downers, we have juicers. We have guys who never played against a black player ever. We had the league separate. I remember when Jackie broke it. You know, that's why. Never mind. But anyway, and there's another thing I wanted to bring up. I could talk baseball all day. Think about Steve Garvey or Don Mattingly. I want you to think about how their numbers, because of longevity, were completely diminished. Garvey was the 3-hole hitter to the most feared lineup at that time outside the Big Red Machine. Don Mattingly Donnie freaking baseball, but when you look at his numbers and the lack of the longevity of his career, you're like, damn. But when he played, he balled. Now, bringing up these guys, I just wanted to bring this up and bring this back into perspective. While I love the numbers of baseball, and in fact, they're a prime reason that maybe a lot of us got into this Junt. I love baseball more than anything, and yes, I like looking in the back of the cards. That's probably why I got 20 million of them somewhere hidden. But I want to ask you a question. 1968, do you remember that, Gabe? No, you were not. You were
I don't.
Do you know it was called the Year of the Pitcher?
Now I do.
Bob Gibson had an ERA closer to my blood alcohol level when I leave this place by 5 o'clock. The overall MLB batting average, honestly, was 237, okay? So do you know what they did? They lowered the mound in 1969. They lowered the mound. Then a couple years later, they added the DH. Now remember, the league's batted an average of 237 in the Year of the Pitcher. This year so far, they're batting 235 with a universal DH. It ain't down that much, but guess what? Runs are up. Why? Because we look for the long ball and we wait for the 3-run homer. Just to use the Braves, last year they averaged 5.2 runs. This year they're averaging 5.22 runs, even though they're hitting 17 points less in batting average as a team. You know what I mean?
Bizarre.
It's just bizarre. And then we want to go crazy about, we look at like, oh, well, the average on-base percentage across baseball is down by 9 points this year. Yeah, batting average is also down 17 points. But guess what? Runs are up on an average day basis of 16 runs per day. When, like, I'm talking about Saturday and a weekend. A full
So long story short, stop complaining about the stats.
Basically, all I wanted to ask you was Mark Twain right? There's lies, there's damn lies, and there's statistics. Can you just enjoy the damn game and stop bleeping about, 2020 and the Rona's gonna ruin baseball stats forever? Dude, it's life, man. You got to deal with it. Life's a bleep, but I deal with it.
So, into college football NCAA world. The NCAA made a couple announcements this morning. They have a snitch line. That's one.
That was funny.
And they also decided they have a eligibility ruling that they are trying to make. Are they sending a warning? Do you view this as
Absolutely.
A warning shot at the SEC, Big 12, ACC for playing a season? Or does it matter? Is this the last stand for them to actually act like they have power?
Yep.
What do you take from these
I
announcements?
think basically you kind of answered a little bit of it, and that was greatly because I think this is the NCAA's last opportunity to say, hey, Greg, hey, Bob, guess what? My name is Mark Emmert, and I'm stronger than you, and here's Bosley. Here's Bob. Smack! And then Greg Sankey comes off the top rope with the elbow. Bah! We don't care about the Pac-12. Right now, we care about the Big Ten, but if they want to play, we're gonna do it. But this is what's so impressive. The Big 12 here's, the NCAA, I don't know if you people realize this, they basically came out and threatened the other three. Did you see it today at all? You were on air. You probably didn't get it. Did you just see it?
Parts of it, yes.
Parts of it? Okay, so did you hear about, the doctors and the stuff that they were saying?
Yes.
The medical experts? It absolutely freaks me out. And I don't mean to be disrespectful because I want baseball more. I want football more than anything. But when Dr. Carlos Del Rio of the Infectious Disease Society of America comes in on a Zoom meeting and he says, I feel like we've already hit the iceberg, and I'm just wondering when do I make the decision to go ahead and bring out the band so they can start playing while this sucker goes down, referring to Titanic. That is not cool. You have another one, Brian Hairline, another NCAA chief medical officer. Yes, he's a doctor. Do you realize, I didn't know until this morning, we have 12 cases of mitochondritis only in just those two conferences that have withdrawn. We talked about this, Gabe. This affects your heart forever. These guys might not just play football forever, their lives might be cut short by half.
We're talking about myocarditis. It swells your heart. And we're talking about big, massive human beings breathing really, really hard. Now, I know that myocarditis is sort of common in viral infections, okay? But when we don't know about this viral infection and we don't have the means to fight it, I just don't want the myocarditis rate to go astronomical. We can't do that to these kids. It could have long-term effects. And again, they are big, massive human beings, so
yes.
We need to pay attention a little more to it.
By the way, also, the one thing Dr. Colin Kraft came out and said of the myocarditis, that in an athlete, one is too many. And by the way, 12 cases might sound few to you. How many myocarditis did they have in 2019 that they had to deal with?
I have no idea.
Just in those two conferences again.
Zero.
So she's saying that this is something serious. Yes, this might happen in the future of these young men, but to get it while they're this young, we don't know that the effects they're going to have.
And then to have it and maybe be doing strenuous activity, breathing hard, using your cardiovascular fitness, it just doesn't seem like a recipe for success. And I think we can all draw that conclusion. Now,
one other thing before I go. The ACC, Big 12, the SEC, they've scheduled they're going to play. They basically are listening to the NCAA. And did you see what the Big 12 basically said that they're going to do after this? The Big 12 tweeted out, conference play is slated to begin on September 26th. The Big 12 also announces that the Red River Showdown between Texas and Oklahoma will remain at the Cotton Bowl on October 10th. We are trying to see if we can get fans. And then Kurt Herbstreit just tweets back, wow. What do you think that means by Kurt?
he's saying, why are we worried about fans? Let's just try to play first.
I think
that's where
right.
we're at. I don't understand
I don't
the thought of
understand
fans.
the fan
Jerry
thought.
Jones said he wants to have a full stadium. Come on, get out of here.
Thank you.
Is this, and I want to talk about Hard Knocks because we just came off, the first episode was the least watched episode of Hard Knocks in a long, is it ever?
Ever.
Ever. Do you think it's because people are actually sick of it, or do you think it's because no one wants to watch a COVID-19 embattled camp?
I don't think anybody wants to watch a bunch of dudes riot up in Jaguars, Rolls-Royce, Beamers, Lexuses, and some idiot in like a minivan because he didn't spend any money and have a thing stuck up their nose. They're not practicing in pads. There's no drama. I went and watched some of the Hard Knocks, and then I just started fast-forwarding it just so I could see if there was any point I thought I wanted to stop, and I would stop and pause. And I'm like, oh, my God, they're putting this on television?
Want to know what's sad? Usually it's appointment TV. I have yet to watch the episode.
Can I just tell you why?
I have yet to watch it.
It
Use it for
sucks.
me. It is usually appointment television.
It's-
Appointment.
It's not appointment television. But I'll tell you something. I got appointment radio coming next because Ron Tillery, that's right, the Grizzstorian, the great Ron Tillery. We're going to talk Grizzlies because guess what? Believe Memphis, they play today. They're going against a Giannis-less. He's not playing because of the headbutt. No Giannis, no Bucks playing, I think. Grizzlies are favored by 3 by the people in Vegas. I think they get the win, and I think they're going to get to play on Saturday. Now, I think they fall to Portland. But we're going to see what the Grizzstorian actually thinks. Whatever y'all do, NBA next. Hit me at 67129 and don't touch that dial. Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7 FM.
Sports Time on Sports 56 with Wallow and Stats. Weekday afternoons from 3 till 6. Right here on Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7 FM.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season is ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, or even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, call us before you call your insurance company at 867-0303. That's 867-0303, and we will provide a free, thorough inspection of your roof's condition.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
CenterPoint Energy takes many steps to help ensure the safety of gas lines in your community and shares important tips like the following. A distinct odor similar to rotten eggs is added to natural gas. If you smell it, clear the area and immediately call CenterPoint Energy. Plus, always remember to call 811 before you dig or begin an outdoor project. Natural gas is one of the safest fuels. To find more tips, visit centerpointenergy.com/gas safety.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Message and data rates may apply. Men over 40, is your body feeling soft and not as lean? Are you losing your energy, drive, or even your passion? If so, you could be feeling the loss of growth hormone. The reality is, as early as 25, your natural production of GH begins to significantly slow down, which means you start slowing down. Well, listen to this. New GH Boost from Nugenix is the world's first and only non-prescription supplement that safely supercharges your body's GH production at night when it naturally occurs. Clinical studies show the ingredients in GH Boost can increase your body's own GH levels more than 100% in just the first 90 minutes. And right now, Nugenix is letting every man in America try a complimentary 2-week sample by texting WATCH to 231231 now. Get GH Boost and get your swagger back at the gym and in the bedroom. It's killing it at GNC, but you can only get your sample by texting WATCH to 231231. That's WATCH to 231231. Text WATCH to 231231.
I'm giving Jeb's Basement Renovations 1 star. He kept asking me what's behind the walls down there. I'm like, why? What do you know?
No matter how hard you work for your small business, online reviewers will find something to complain about.
And then he's like, you can trust me with the job. And I'm all like, trust?
And while Progressive can't save you from these trolls, we can help you save money on commercial, auto, and business insurance.
Yeah, he charged me less than he said he would, which is lying.
Get a quote online today at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliated and third-party insurers.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio.
Kick it over him.
This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Yo, yo, yo! I just want to ask a quick question. Welcome into Sports 56 Radio. You know Johnny Radio. You know Gabe Kuhn. Follow me at Johnny_Radio, at G_Kuhn71 for my man Gabe Kuhn. But do you remember this year when I said there might be a guy who could hit over 400 and his name could be DJ LeMahieu? Do you remember that? Do you know he's batting .431? And do you remember when I said y'all might want to get Bo Bichette? I picked him up in he was the last shortstop taken. He went 5 for 5 yesterday with a walk. But he did scare the bleep out of me because I had the Miami Marlins. And when he tied that Jun up, I almost started crying. Bo, you scared the bleep out of me. But you know, the Grizzlies have scared the bleep out of everybody in Memphis. They've also, Bo, I think they've helped make people realize how damn hard it is to make the playoffs. You know, we got spoiled this year. Let's just be real, Grizz fans. The Grizzlies weren't supposed to be here. The Grizzlies just, like, we were talking last year, like, hey, what's our coach's name? Bobby Jenkins? Taylor Jenkins? Ricky J, what is it? And then we'd look up Taylor Jenkins, and he didn't even have a Wikipedia page. We didn't know Ja was going to be, heck, the rookie of the year. Trey J played so great. It's been a great, great season, but we've learned a lot about the bubble. We've learned a lot about this team, and I think we're going to learn a lot more at 3 o'clock. But if I'm going to talk about the Grizzlies, I have to bring on the one, the great, the only, the Grizzstorian, and my very good friend, Ron Tillery. Hey, Ron, how you doing, my brother?
I'm doing great. How you guys?
Man, I'm just missing you, dude. Life treating you good. I hate this COVID-19. I ain't seen you in months, my man.
Yeah, the only places I go nowadays is the grocery store.
Dude, and I don't even like going there. I send my wife. I'm such a jerk. Actually, we order a lot now, by the way, which is kind of
Yeah, me too. We've
been doing that. So is that going to become a new thing? Because I actually can tell you something. I hate the grocery store. I like it kind of showing up, but yeah. I don't think my security guard likes it very much. But anyway, Ron, today at 3 o'clock, the Grizzlies have a very important game. By the way, we have a lot of important games that are going on today in the National Basketball Association. The bubble, by the way, before I get into just the Grizzlies, I want to ask you this first and foremost. Were you on because I can't remember, did you think that they were going to be able to actually handle this bubble the way that they did? And did you think that it was not just going to be successful, but they have 0 cases? I mean, 0 cases. We've had some injuries, you know, that happens in sports. But damn it, no fans has basically for me been no damn problem. I've enjoyed it, and I feel like Adam Silver, who I thought at first was getting way too much credit, because I'm like, dude, the NFL can't be in a bubble. Dude, look at what the NHL did. You know, Gary Bettman, great job. But man, Adam Silver, does he deserve some credit? And have they done a better job than even you expected?
Oh yes, for certain. I was a skeptic because I was concerned about the Disney workers being able to go in and out, so I never really thought about it being a true bubble.
Mm-hmm.
But Silver, along with the Players Association, came up with a spectacular plan, and I'm happy for them that it's worked out. Now we go to phase 2 when they're going to allow in outsiders.
That's where I was going. You beat me to it.
Yeah, and so now that's when the bubble is really going to get tested.
Well, this is what I wanted to ask you, because why is it if you've done so good? And I understand that people are going to be looking at James Harden's room for, you know, my girl, you know, I don't know if I should mention it, but you know what I'm saying. I know there's going to be certain players that they're going to be kind of checking the room for, let's just say workers or close friends that are like swipe left. Is it Tinder you swipe left that you meet on Tinder? Is that how it works?
I have no idea.
Swipe right.
Swipe right. Oh, okay. Swipe right. If you're swiped right, you're good. So I probably was swiped left. But like they're gonna try to keep those people out. And this is my question: how honestly can you be this successful, this close to the finish line? This Saturday, I think we're gonna see Portland play the Grizzlies. I truly do. I do think Portland's gonna win, and they're gonna get ready for the playoffs. Portland's gonna play Miami. We know the East already. Everything was set yesterday. Why would you take a chance and bring in more people?
Yeah, I didn't understand it. It came out of nowhere. That didn't seem to be a part of the original plan. I can understand them wanting to reunite people with their families, but it's going to be hard to police it, as you were alluding to. Like, how do you prove that you're a good, close personal friend of a player or a staff member? I mean, you can't prove that.
I mean, Mia Khalifa, I know when she walks up, like the securities guard's going to be like, I've seen your videos 1,000 times. I know you are not realistically James Harden's wife. No. I mean, are they going to literally like do something like that? And if you don't know who she is, you're a good man, Mr. Ron Tillery. But what I'm saying is like if you're a ball player and they let some dude's wife, and then they tell some guy he can't have his girlfriend. That could almost start animosity with even an own team.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they actually enforce the guidelines that they set. But I think they've kind of opened up the floodgates for any and everybody to come in there, even though they put a limit on how many people a player or coach can have visit. But that's going to be the official test of the bubble.
Man, I'll tell you one thing. I just am one of those guys. If it ain't broke, don't change it, damn it. And the bubble has worked so good. Nobody believed us. We have had 0 people catch it. I would kind of keep it how it is. Now, I know you're going to move out the teams that are losing out. That doesn't mean you bring in guys' girlfriends or family members even, because, again, I talked to my daughter who graduated past her boards, and she's doing a lot better because she actually caught COVID, and so did my whole family. And she told me that the coronavirus is like, imagine the stomach flu with the virus after you just got hit by a truck.
Wow.
It doesn't sound good, man. So I would just hate to see that happen to anybody. And could you imagine a superstar like a LeBron James or a Russell Westbrook or a Luka Doncic or a Giannis who headbutted somebody catching this during this because you opened up the bubble? I think it's opening up Adam Silver for an opportunity to maybe mismanage because this has been the NBA has been the leader. Well, UFC started it, honestly, but the NBA came in there and just made it great, and they've taken off, and people are loving it. I just can't believe they're changing it. But now, after we talked about COVID, I want to talk to you as the Grizz historian. Mike Conley. You know this team better than anybody. You've seen how it's been managed. You've seen how people are. The fans may have got a little bit out of control this year with them getting the 8th seed and making it to, play the Lakers, and yes, that was going to be tough. But how hard is it just to make the playoffs in the NBA, and especially with the team this young? And don't you feel like Grizzlies fans kind of need to check themselves? Like, if they win today, that's great. If they lose on Saturday in the play-in game, I feel like whip-de-doo. They got so much experience, and you got to watch them grow. And I just think people need to put back the reality and check in the box, because the other thing I'm going to say is the West looks like it's getting stronger. The Suns are getting better. All kinds of things are going. So what do you think about this young Grizzlies team? Are they ahead of the curve?
Well, they're certainly ahead of the curve. I mean, nobody predicted that they would even be in contention. I was wrong about the bubble being successful, but at the beginning I was right about how the bubble would play out.
Yes, you were.
When you talk about how hard it is to make the playoffs, what you're seeing is a bunch of teams locked in, veteran teams dialed in, playing their best basketball when it counts. And if people, and I can understand why fans are getting excited, because you got the Rookie of the Year, you got Jaren bouncing back from an okay last year, and
shoot, he looked great before his injury.
And then you look up and they're in the AC up 3.5 games. But with 17 to go, had they continued the regular season and having to play Portland twice, New Orleans twice, Jazz, the Spurs, the same thing would have played out. The Grizzlies would have fell back, and the veteran teams with the experience would have rose up, just like it's happening now. And I don't think it matters that much that the Grizzlies have experienced injuries. It's very difficult, as you said. And today, what I'm gonna be looking for is just how desperate and how scrappy the group that the Grizzlies can put out there will be. We're going to find out, I think, by halftime, or maybe shortly after halftime, whether they just want to go home.
Ooh.
Because they're going to open that bubble up, like as you mentioned earlier, and send all of the disqualified teams home.
Yep.
So I think that's what's going to be important today. I don't care the fact that Giannis isn't playing. I mean that's a good team with or without him. I mean, obviously he makes them super.
I mean, they're 56-16. Yeah, they're
right.
Damn
You
good.
you don't run away in either conference without having a good, solid, deep team. So we just got to find out how desperate Ja and the rest of those guys are, and how much pride they have. I mean, this thing to me can go either way. If they're competitive, it's another great experience for them and something for Grizzly fans to hold on to. If they get blown out, I think that would be more disappointing than not making a play-in game.
Me
because
too.
How they exit, forget the wins and losses. It's how they perform is going to matter going into the next season.
I think you're 100% right. How they perform, how they come out and fight, what Dylan Brooks, the surprise of Grayson Allen this year, the fact that, J-Dub next year, Justice Winslow, he could possibly come back and be a part of this team. Watching JV, Jonas Valanciunas, do what he's done, he's a hell of a lot better center than I ever imagined. I don't know why. I just didn't realize that he had these skills. He can run the court. He can finish at the rim. He gets rebounds. He's got good, court vision. And nobody really even talks about JV. They got, again, Trey J can hit it outside. He's athletic. I know he needs to work on his rebounding. That stuff gets annoying. But if you look at the other things that he does, oh, my gosh, he's spectacular on his journey. Yeah. And then Ja is one of those guys that when you watch him play, do you not see possibly not great basketball player, but greatness in him?
Well, yeah, obviously you can see.
You watched Michael Jordan. That's why I wanted to ask this, because you saw, I ain't calling him Michael Jordan. I'm just saying, you know what greatness looks like.
And I always temper expectations. Not saying that he won't be a superstar. Not saying that he won't be an all-star. He clearly is the runaway rookie of the year. I always tell people, though, this league is about consistency. Mm-hmm. Now, does Ja have the tools? Yes. Does Ja have the upside? Yes. Can he improve on his game? Absolutely. So what's going to make or break his career is how consistent he can be. I remind people, you like to call me the Gristorian.
Yes, sir.
Think about how excited people were about O.J. Mayo's.
Oh, wow. I forgot about that.
And the only thing that stood in his way was Derrick Rose. I'm so old school, I said Jalen. Derrick Rose. But O.J.'s first 2 years in a Grizzlies uniform were phenomenal. He was setting records that only Allen Iverson had set. Yep. So, but he flamed out. I'm not saying that's going to happen to Ja, but I would love to see that young man continue that progression because he has the tools, he has the mental toughness, and then we're going to find out how much leadership he has in him today because he's going to have to will the Grizzlies to get this win that they desperately need to stay alive.
I think it's absolutely crucial, but this is what I wanted to ask you because this is the hard question before we have to say goodbye. And I got, actually two more, but with this Phoenix Suns coming on the way that they have, the fact that, Memphis wins, Memphis is in no matter what Phoenix does. That's a great thing. But when you look at this team, and again, I think Portland's going to get them in the play-in game on Saturday. I just truly do. But I want them to make the play-in game. I think Dame Lillard's going to give Lakers a hard time. That's going to be my last question. But I'm going to ask you, is this Suns team, with what they've done in the bubble, winning 7 straight, I think they're going to win their 8th straight, are they showing you, is Devin arrived? Has this Suns team kind of said, hey, we are going to grow up and we're going to compete next year? Luka Doncic and the Mavericks look like they're going to compete next year. The Denver Nuggets, they look strong as all get out. And don't even get me started on the Clippers and how deep they are. Plus, they have the greatest owner in basketball, one of the best coaches with Doc Rivers. And when you have Kawhi and Paul George, playoff P, and then when you got a guy who knows he likes to get his wings, his thighs, his breasts from Magic City, I got to say, Clippers know what's going down. So the West is the best. Can Memphis, are Memphis and Phoenix the teams that are right there at the bottom who are trying to come up it? And who do you think has the higher upside?
Well, I'll tell you what. My comments are going to be excluding the Clippers because, like you said, we know who they are.
Yep.
And we know who their coach is. I think all those young teams you mentioned all have good upside. The thing that people forget about the Phoenix Suns is they have 2 very good young bookends, in Booker and in DeAndre Ayton.
Yep.
And people forget, before I say this, and they also have solid, if not famous, role players. They have guys on that Phoenix Suns team that fit those 2 guys perfectly, know their roles, play within themselves, and that's what the Grizzlies are going to have to find. So here's
Ricky Rubio fits with them. He gets the ball into Booker to get great shots. Bridges.
And here's what people forget about the Suns, and they forget about the excellent coach that Monty Williams is. He had the tragedy of losing his wife in an accident. And he kind of went off the grid, understandably so. But they're very well coached. And then, let's not forget New Orleans. I know Zion was a big disappointment. He was heavy. He couldn't perform at a high level. He couldn't play a lot of minutes. But I'm going to also remind people of this. When Charles Barkley got into the league, he was heavy. He was 300 pounds. They limited his minutes. He went to a veteran, Moses Malone, and said, "Why they don't play me?" Moses Malone said, "Because you fat and you lazy." And Charles says it all the time. True story. And so Charles went on a mission to get in shape. And at his peak, he was 250. So Zion's got work to do, but that's also a team that the Grizzlies will be competing for on the rise. So it is a matter of who's got next. But all these young teams that you mentioned, and we didn't even mention Sacramento, They were playing the best basketball before the bubble.
That's a good point.
And so, it's going to be about who can be consistent in that game. And we won't know that until we get 2 or 3 years into these guys' career.
That's a great point. Hey, he is the Grizz story, and he is Ron Tillery. Before I have to say goodbye to my favorite person on planet Earth, Grizzlies, I believe, are going to get the win today against the Bucks at 3 o'clock. I just truly believe that Ja and this team is going to come out and fight. I still do believe Portland takes the 8th seed. I don't think any of these teams can win 2 games in a row. And I'm going to ask you this, though. With Dame Time playing like he is, if C.J. McCollum can wake the bleep up, do they have a chance against the Lakers?
Yeah, I think the Lakers don't want to see them because I don't think the Lakers have the backcourt to deal with, like you said, especially if C.J. wakes up, to deal with C.J. and Dame. And then they got Nurkic back.
Nurkic is back, yeah.
And then Carmelo is playing style basketball. But, as I've said to you on your show many times before, the Lakers still have 2 of the top 5 players in the game, and LeBron and A.D. And now they're going to get Lou Williams back. So it's going to be a knockdown, drag-out series. I don't think it'll be a cakewalk as it would have been with the Grizzlies facing the Lakers. It's just going to be a really, really good series, as will a lot of the series that have already been decided, the matchups.
And by the way, for all you wonderful people, Ron joins me. He joins a lot of us on this station. I hope I get to talk to him more often. Hopefully, we'll talk down the road. And we always talk on the phone. I hope the Rona's over, so we'll see each other. But you can still check him out on Twitter at CA Grizzbeat. He don't tweet near as much, but he's still on there at CA Grizzbeat. Check him out. Now, don't get offended. He won't follow you back. He don't follow nobody back. But
let me tell you something real funny about CA Grizzbeat.
Uh-huh.
In the last, few months, 4 or 5 months, I got a text from my former employer.
No way.
Asking me to change my handle because people still think I work for the paper. I said, well, if they think that, they're stupid. I haven't worked for them in 2 years. And I said, second of all, I'm not changing jack. It's my handle. And
pay me for it.
Right. They did. They literally asked me to change it.
That is hilarious,
I
man.
said no.
Man, there's some dumb things that are going on in this world, but that's one of the dumbest I've heard all day. And I can tell you one thing, you made me laugh. Hey, Grizzlies are going to do it today. Grizzstorian, I'll be talking to you soon. Ron, you know I love you, brother. Take care. I hope your family's doing well. And I really do hope we can get back to where we can go hang out and
absolutely.
do our old things back like we used to before the Rona.
Good talking to you, and I'll talk to you next week.
Be blessed, my brother. That's my good friend Ron Tillery. I'm late for a break. This is Sports 56. Never forget Chad Gatlin at MemphisFarmers.com. Why? Because MemphisFarmers.com is the real deal. Holyfield. Call him, 901-235-1176. MemphisFarmers.com. This is Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7 FM.
Search Sports 56 on Facebook and give us a like. And follow us on Twitter at Sports 56 WHBQ.
I want to invite you to come by the Spirit Shop. You know, that little log cabin on Poplar, your liquor and wine oasis. The Spirit Shop has been providing sports fans their beverage needs since way back in 1969. So come in now and get ready for the big game. Whether your favorite team wins or loses, the Spirit Shop will help you celebrate or ease that pain away. The Spirit Shop is open every day, and they're located perfectly at 4848 Poplar. That's the corner of Poplar and St. Nick. There's a new commissary in town in Collierville. Germantown Commissary is doubling. Yeah, they're still going to have the old Germantown Commissary by the tracks, but now there's a huge new Germantown Commissary in Collierville at Poplar and Houston Levee Road. It's huge, too. There's a drive-through. There's plenty of parking. No telephone pole to get in your way. A cool patio. It's right by the track, so the tradition continues. And this is a tradition that's been around forever. That commissary is famous for hickory-smoked, slow-cooked Memphis-style barbecue. They've got a private party room at the new one in Collierville. Self-catering still continues. Party packs for $5.95. Basically, the great ribs, the great pulled shoulder, the great deviled eggs. Everything is there in Collierville and Germantown now. So there is now a Germantown and Collierville style of barbecue. It's called Germantown Commissary.
Hi folks, it's Dominic Hoon, General Manager here at Sunrise on the Pike. I want to invite you to Sunrise Super Summer Sale going on right now. Deals are so hot, catch them before they're gone. Thinking about a new or used car, truck, and not sure where to go to get the most for your money? Come to Sunrise on the Pike. More than 500 Buicks and GMCs to choose from. The majority price at employee pricing. Bad credit, bankruptcy, slow pay, that is okay. Here at Sunrise, we specialize in secondary financing, cars below $10,000. If you got a job, you're approved at Sunrise, the home of the guaranteed credit approval. See us online at sunriseonthepike.com or in person at 1800 Coving Pike.
At Advance Auto Parts, we have same-day delivery, same-day contact-free curbside pickup, and same-day in-store pickup to keep you going. And we have the right oil, right filter, right price every day to keep your vehicle going. Get 5 quarts of full synthetic Valvoline, Mobil 1, Pennzoil Platinum, or Castrol Edge with a Fram titanium oil filter for just $33.99. Advance your auto at Advance Auto Parts and participating CarQuest locations. See store for details.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio.
Kick it over here.
This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Thick and thin, I'm your pusher man. I'm your pusher man.
Yo, 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 welcome into Sports 56 Happy Hour with your good buddy Johnny Radio. And yes, I am solid steel and sex appeal. Sorry, just got to admit it, man. It's about being honest, right? We want to be honest. Hey, by the way, Gabe, did you like the 3 questions I texted you earlier today? I hope you found that funny. People, I might have to show it for those who are watching on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, or Instagram, because I'm chilling in the Family Leisure Studios where family and fun come together. 2120 Witten Road, just north of I-40. They make our studios lovely. They'll make your house look even better. But I have to tell you, not only do we have day basketball going on, but do you know we have day baseball? Mets are beating the Nationals 3-1 in the 5th inning right now. Did you know at 3 o'clock? Drew Barrett's pathetic team, the Orioles, are playing the Phillies.
Why you gotta call them pathetic, man?
They're the Orioles.
I know they are, but you ain't gotta. Golly, man.
Well, I'm
Drew Barrett's pathetic team.
Dude, he
Say
actually
it real
still
hard.
roots for him. I'm like, dude, when Cal left, you could have like just kind of dropped off for a while if you wanted to.
Die hard, man. Die hard.
He is die hard. I will tell you that one. Jake Arrieta is pitching for the Phillies, and this dude named Tommy Elshelman, who's pitching for Baltimore.
Elshelman.
He's 0-0 with a 3.68 ERA. Hadn't pitched very much.
Seen the tight end madness going on in the NFL right now?
About the George Kittle.
George Kittle, 5 years, $75 million.
Yep.
And now Travis Kelce.
Upset.
Extended 6 years. Well, 4 years. He's got 2 more years on his current deal.
When did the Kelce thing come out?
Very recently. We don't have numbers on it. I would assume it's going to be up there with George Kittle's numbers. George Kittle broke the tight end record by a lot.
Dude, let me just tell you something, and I want to sit there and just say this. People argue with me a lot about a lot of things, and that's understandable. To argue that Travis Kelce is a better tight end than George Kittle is to argue, like, I don't know, that LeBron's better than Michael Jordan. No, really, that's how close the conversation is. I think Travis Kelce with Patrick Mahomes, great fit for the offense, one of the best wide receiving tight ends, underrated blocker. But there's no physical, there's not a tight end that's more physical since Mark Bavaro. Do you remember Mark Bavaro, who looked like Rocky when he used to play?
The difference is, though, George Kittle has got hands, he's fast,
and
he
also
does everything.
When he catches the ball, do you know who he reminds me of? Nobody, because he punishes people unlike Gronk did. Gronk was huge. He'd make the catch and fall down. George Kittle catches that ball. You know, he kind of actually, remember New Orleans tight end that went to Seattle? who used to be really good.
Graham.
Thank you. Jimmy Graham would catch the ball and punish you. George Kittle is a hell of a lot better blocker than Jimmy Graham. But when he catches the ball, you're playing safety, cornerback, or linebacker, you don't want to tackle that man. Do you remember when he caught the ball? It was like they went for it on 4th and 8, and he caught it 3 yards short, and he carried 3 men for the first down last year.
Here's the other thing: he's very into wrestling. He's a very eccentric personality.
Dude,
he is the only guy I have seen who got his contract extension reported on Barstool first.
And not only Barstool was reported, didn't he just
Yeah,
get
he got the halo, the Grandmaster Chief or whatever.
He is a goofy dude, but I will tell you one thing: he will kick your teeth in. He's a bad mamma jamma. I think he's easily the best tight end. Travis Kelce will give you the numbers on his contract coming down as they shortly come out. But Travis Kelce, he's 2A. But you know what? Travis Kelce's perfect for Patrick Mahomes. Like, for that offense and Andy Reid, it's a perfect fit. For the running back and what they're trying to do, George Kittle, heck, he could work with anybody. But I will tell you one thing. We got day baseball. We got day basketball. Grizzlies play today at 3 o'clock. Isaac Simpson at 2:30. We just talked with the Grizzstorian, and you know what we about to do on the other side? I'm going to take y'all to Hardwood, baby. It's going to feel good. Don't touch that dial. Sports 56. Never forget MemphisFarmers.com. My good friend Chad Gallen, 96.1, 87.7 FM.
At Jason's Deli, you can stuff yourself full of great deli food that's healthy, fresh, and best of all, it's not expensive. Jason's Deli is all about choice. Whether you're looking for a gluten-free menu, vegetarian sandwiches, healthy kids' meals, or if you'd like to invent your sandwich via the build-your-own selections, Jason's Deli has you covered. And they only use fresh, wholesome ingredients. Choose from the club and specialty sandwiches, paninis, wraps, soups, salads, pastas, and much more. I love the cleanliness in the restaurant, the hospitality, and of course the cost. They have a huge salad bar and great soups, including Southwest chicken chili, fire-roasted tortilla, organic vegetable, tomato basil, and many, many more. And if you're planning an event, their catering department is fantastic and can handle any size party. Go check out Jason's Deli's 4 locations. On Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, that's my favorite, on Germantown Parkway in Cordova, at Poplar and Highland, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch.
Hi, I'm Greg Gaston for Window Genie. Window Genie is a trusted name in window cleaning, but they do so much more. They can take care of your home or business. They clean interior and exterior windows with a streak-free guarantee. They clean gutters, do pressure washing and house washing. They can also clean and seal concrete, brick, and natural stone. Locally owned and operated, insured and bonded. Get your free estimate today and ask for the Sports 56 discount. Call 901-424-4100 and leave the dirty work to Window Genie.
Hi, this is Rob Brown. Join Pete Cordelli and me for Sidelines Saturday mornings, 8 to 10 a.m. on Sports 56, 87.7, and 96.1 FM. We'll cover the Memphis Tigers, the SEC, recruiting. Hey, if they keep score, we're covering it. Check us out on the website at sports56whbq.com and sidelines.live. Sidelines is brought to you by Duncan Williams Asset Management. Saturday mornings, 8 to 10 a.m. Get up and give us a call.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
Got something you want to get off your chest?
You better have a backup plan.
Want to join the conversation?
Someone needs to tell him he has to grow up.
Join us on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255 or the First Bank text line at 67129. We are Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. As well as online around the world at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere on your phone or tablet by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, tell Google or Alexa to play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Now back to Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. Here we go. On Sports 56 and 87.7 FM.
Yo, how are my peeps doing? Y'all know it's Friday's Eve. I haven't said that all day long. Or Thirsty Thursday. One or the other. Doesn't matter. Friday's Eve, Thirsty Thursday. Tell you one thing. I will not be going down to Tunica today. Not because I didn't lose yesterday. Because I won big. And I realized you can't keep winning like that. You just can't do it. And the Miami Marlins scared me so bad last night. And I had them in every ticket but one. They were up 8-0 at one point. Did you know that? I had basically said that was a win. I'm like, I had somebody that calls me, was like, hey, did you see that the Miami just got tied up by Toronto? And I almost like cried. I was like, what inning is it? They're like, it's the 9th. They're going into the top of the 10th. I turned that junt, started paying attention. They scored 3 runs. Amen, won that thing, and I was okay. But my goodness, I think I know that was like, John, your luck is about to run out. Take a couple of days off, buddy, because, man, I've been on fire. Do y'all know that I've only lost one game since last Saturday? One game? That is ridiculous. Now, speaking of winning, Grizzlies got to win today at 3 o'clock. Yes, if they win, guess what happens? And, of course, Portland does their thing. They're going to play on Saturday at ABC, 1:30. We're going to rock and fire. We're going to enjoy life. We're going to watch them do their thing. And we're just going to be, at least for me as a Grizz fan, happy that they made it to the play-in game. Now, I hate to say this, to be honest with you, with no Trey J and the injuries, I just want to see them make it to the play-in game, because now I want to see the Lakers play Dame time. I want to see my favorite player in the league. In all honesty, currently right now, I love Ja Morant, don't get me wrong. But Dame Time is my favorite player in basketball. He's also the best rapper in basketball, and he's hilarious, and he's in Portland. I actually met him once. There's another reason I like him. So, anyway, point is, he's just the coolest dude. And I've met a lot of them, but he's pretty cool. Now, the point, though, I want to also make sure that I get to, it's very, very important, that we're going to have Isaac Simpson at 2:30 to break down this 3 o'clock game. So we are going to get deep in the Grizzlies.
Real quick, I have a text line question from Nico.
Ooh.
He says, what happens if Memphis wins and Portland loses today? Who will have the 8th spot for the play-in advantage?
Well, we have to also know what's going to happen with San Antonio and Phoenix. If the Suns
No,
win,
he's saying if the Grizzlies win and the Blazers lose.
Oh, just what happens?
Yeah, the Grizzlies get the 8th spot.
The Grizzlies, yeah.
Blazers get the 9th spot, and then the Grizzlies get the advantage.
Yeah, and then they'd have to beat the Grizzlies twice. And I love you, Nico. Especially when you text, like you probably are one of the best with the 5 songs. You send me some of the funniest texts I've ever read. But I just want to ask you this question, and I want you to be honest with me. Do you think that Damian Lillard, after all that he said before he got to the bubble and about how he wanted to make sure that they had a reason to play, that they wanted to make sure that this stuff was, and blah, blah, blah. And now that they are in the 8th seed and they're controlling it, can I just ask you this, Nico? Where in God's name do you think that the Nets are somehow going to beat them? I know, again, if this was the Clippers or the Lakers or anybody with a pulse.
Nothing wrong with hypotheticals. We can talk hypotheticals.
We can, except for it's the Nets. And again,
But even hypothetically, they won't lose to the Nets.
Yeah,
is what you're saying.
hypothetically, the Nets can't win. And if you go, the Nets beat the Magic, the Nets beat the Magic. And they also did beat the Clippers. And the Nets have beaten a few teams. But can I just tell you something? They're going to play a team that is actually wanting to win to get into the playoffs. And I bet you Damian, who went from 51 to 61, what's he get today? Over 50.5. Over or under? What you got?
I'm going to go slightly under. Come on, man. We can't aim that high.
Hey, man, Dame.
Because look, you come off a 61-point game, you know that other team. Well, actually, it is the Nets. Never mind. Why do I keep forgetting that?
It's the Brooklyn bleeping Nets. And by the way, where's Melo and right now Kyrie? They're trying to find the end of the earth. Okay, let's just be real. Like Kyrie and Kevin Durant.
I was say you said Melo.
I said Melo.
KD.
I'm sorry. I've been thinking of Melo and the Blazers because he's been doing so good. I meant Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. They're right now trying to find the end of the earth. Let's just be real. They're like, in Magic Mike's honor, we're going to find that the earth is flat for y'all, okay? But anyway, I'll get back to some serious stuff because it is important. It's time for us to go down to this very, very special place. And I'm talking about Central Barbecue. Oh, yes. EatCBQ.com. You can go downtown, midtown. You can go to Central. You can go Poplar, Central, Summer, downtown. Hit them all. But make sure you get the banana pudding. And remember, the best barbecue in the whole world. It's in Memphis. And the best barbecue in Memphis is where? At Central Barbecue. Why? Because smoke is their sauce. EatCBQ.com. Check them out. You'll thank me later. Do me a favor right now. Strike the band.
This is Access Hardwood.
Oh, I love me some Hardwood, man. Oh, my goodness. So can I ask you a question, Gabe? Do you want to actually, I would never start here normally, but I wanted to actually start about this fight with Daniel Cormier and this Stipe guy.
Oh, what a fight. I can't wait.
Bro, I have never got into the UFC, and you know this.
Well, you're dealing with heavyweights right now.
Yes,
you got to love the heavyweight fights.
You got me. Well, now I got to where I love it. You know, I really don't watch the women fight. I'm not going to lie to you. So it's still difficult. I don't know why.
I can't believe you started here, man. This is awesome.
But, dude, I'm starting here now because Stipe I did not know was a firefighter. Daniel Cormier, I did not know about how he's a ground and pound guy because when they fought the first two times, they stood up and were like Rocky knocking each other out left and right. And this is 40-year-old Daniel Cormier, 40 years old. This is his last fight.
41, actually.
He's 41?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
But honestly, I think he has a career right now, and I don't know why he's even fighting right this second. Just because he's still good and he's still a good.
And he wants the.
And here's the thing: he is a fantastic commentator.
He is. Oh, he's the best. I
love when he commentates.
Him and Joe Rogan did the very first fight.
Yeah, he is really good. He does it right now, but he's obviously been training for a while. But this is going to be a fun one. This is their third matchup. DC won the first one. Stipe's the champ right now. He won the second one. So this is the third installment of it. Stipe's a massive human being, 80-inch reach.
Massive.
And DC, 72.5-inch reach. So that's where Stipe is going to want to keep it. Probably standing up. DC is going to want to take him to the ground and ground and pound because that's his thing.
Now, I brought this up because I wanted to bring up about how these athletes, even at 41 years old, Daniel Cormier is working out to be the best he can be and fight. Stipe is a firefighter. He's working out to be the best he can be and fight. But Gabe Kuhn, I got to ask you, what the hell? Does it matter if you can squat 800 pounds if both of your knees blow out and now you have to learn to walk again? And why would anybody even just try that? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, what happened? No.
No, this is so bad. And
is this a sports
this is
star of some sort?
Well, I don't know if you would call him a sports star. He's the powerlifting champion. Do you know who he is, by the way?
Who?
You probably don't.
What's his name?
I mean, heck, I don't really know his name. I have to look it up.
Is he from a different country?
I know his name is Alexander. I don't know how to say his last name. I think it's Sedika, whatever. It's Alexander. He's from Moscow. He's the powerlifting champion of the world. You know the guy that's in
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, who
big homie, the Mountain.
Yeah, the Mountain who broke that one record. The powerlifting.
I think he had it was a squat or a deadlift of 1,100 pounds.
He did the deadlift of over 1,000 pounds. Well, he broke Alexander's record. Okay, so Alexander came back and tried to break the squatting record. Okay, guess what happened during the attempt?
I take it from what you said earlier, he blew his knees out.
I don't even understand how there was only 2 guys on the side. We're talking about like thousands of pounds, like 1,000 pounds, people. His knee, like you saw one of his legs start to wobble, and then you just see my homie's knees blow out, and I threw up.
Was he wearing like the knee protectors, the wraps?
Dude, he had the wraps on, but it didn't matter. Not when you got 1,000 pounds coming down on you.
You see me right now. I am writhing in pain just thinking about that, because anybody who's ever squatted a big amount of weight, you know how much pressure that would be. That is.
Listen to this.
Prayers. Like, seriously.
Like, prayers. I'm literally going to pray for him, but this is the thing that's so sad. The main thing about this, my man is like motionless. He's in a bed. He won't even be able to get out of his bed, they say, for a minimum of 2 months. Minimum. He has to completely to learn how to walk again. They've had to, re-sew his knees back together and his quadriceps. Again, this was one of the strongest men on planet Earth, and it's all gone because he just went a little bit too far. And I just want to ask this question, Gabe. Like, I understand lifting and the powerlifting thing, kind of. But, dude, if you're a hell of an athlete and you can do all these amazing things, why would you take such a risk to where, like, it can, like, I mean, now he might be in a wheelchair. They're talking about he might be in a wheelchair.
Because that was his life's work, is to be that strong.
I guess.
These things happen, but good God, man. Like, the problem I have is don't get under the weight if you don't think you can get it, man. And clearly, if you are blowing out your knees on a weight, you should not have had that on your back.
Both of them.
Yeah, you should not have had that weight on your back. I don't care what you say, but man, I know from having to lift even in college football how that just sounds like the worst thing ever. I can't even imagine.
I had to bring that up. That's kind of why I went to the fight.
That hurt me,
hey,
man.
by the way, no.
I feel that in my knees right now.
This is a Fighting Hardingwood segment, and this is where I'm going to now go from. You have this unbelievable fight with Stipe and Daniel Cormier, which I can't wait to watch. You have this dude who got beat by the mountain, and he tried to go and beat the mountain, and now this man might be in a wheelchair the rest of his life. Sadness. But then you have an ignorant $19 million moron named Jake Paul, who the FBI has raided his house this week. And by the way, did you hear Los Angeles County Mayor Eric Garcetti come out and say that they're going to turn off the water to any of these huge houses that have any wild, crazy parties? Did you hear about that?
I did not hear about that. Well, that seems pretty ridiculous, though.
Well, they said that if for people right now,
to control COVID, yeah.
To control COVID, yeah. And they did it to a few houses. Well, if the feds were there, why didn't they do it to Jake Paul's last night?
Can I also did he have a party?
Oh, you didn't hear about this? He didn't just have a party.
He just got raided last week.
He got raided this week. It was Monday. And then last night on Thursday, he threw an all-out bash with a fight with no referee and 2 dudes who beat the absolute hell out of each other. And there was no social distancing, no mask. There were, if you look at the video, at his Calabasas mansion or whatever it is, there's at least 300 people at this place. And they're not social. And
this guy's the worst.
And by the way,
this guy is literally
the dudes
worst.
are beating the tar out of each other in the ring, and there is no ref. I didn't see any doctors. It was not a sanctioned fight. Is he trying to ruin the Mike Tyson thing for me? Because this is all I'm feeling right now.
No,
I'm ready to go out to Los Angeles and fight Jake right now.
At this point, I just hope, honestly, that his boxing match with Nate Robinson goes off and Nate just floors him in 2 rounds.
We got a weekend. Somebody put us on a flight out to L.A. Me and Gabe will take care of the problem. Just let us know, 67129. Put us on a plane. We'll be back on Monday. We're going to make sure Jake Paul does not ruin Tyson, because I'm going to get rid of Jake
No,
Paul.
He ain't. He's not ruining that.
Man,
he'll ruin his fight against Nate Robinson, it seems like.
Nate's going.
Well, that got pushed back for other reasons.
I think, well, yes, it did, but don't tell me that the FBI didn't have something. But the other thing is, I think he's scared of Nate Robinson.
I wouldn't blame him, because I think he's going to get his teeth knocked in
I do too.
by Nate.
Now I have to go to your funny one.
Oh
before I
my
get to
gosh!
my next
Now, Speaking of idiots.
I know where you're going.
The Seahawks cut their rookie cornerback, Kemah Siverand. I think it's Siverand.
Why?
Siverand. He was caught on video trying to sneak in a female to his hotel room during camp. 1, it's COVID season. 2, you'd get cut anyway for bringing a female in during camp. I don't know many of you who've been around a football facility, been around football team hotels. You don't do that. You just do not do that. And not to mention, this is the funniest part, he attempted to give her Seahawks garb to walk in with.
Yes.
So they wouldn't notice her, I guess. But now he's cut because he wants to make stupid decisions. And you can't help a guy like that.
Can I ask you a question?
You can't help him.
You're an undrafted
rookie.
You have a chance to make a pro football team and get life-changing money. If you get swiped to the right, is 2 minutes worth of your time really worth the rest of your life?
Ignore it.
What?
Wait till you get out of camp, dude.
Dude. By the way, why don't you just do what my homie for Toronto did? Just go inside. Or
my God, but the other thing, you really thought that this woman, unless she is 6'3", is not going to pass as a player or personnel for the Seahawks, okay? So giving her Seahawks gear is probably not going to help you smuggle her in to your team hotel. Use common sense, buddy.
By the way,
look,
they don't have
and I want to focus on this too. There's people online saying I can't, because of COVID, they're cutting him. No, this would be he would get cut normally. He would get cut no matter what. You don't do that during camp.
No,
if you're in a team hotel with your team,
the team.
They are forbidden. That is one of the rules. You are forbidden to have women on the premises.
You're not allowed to have anybody. You can't even have your mama come and bring you some daggum good old cooking, okay? Nobody is coming to camp. Camp is camp. Nobody. You got your playbook out. If lucky, they might even put some tissue in your
And here's the other thing. Good luck getting another job with a football team.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
Good luck.
Now can I bring up something else that's funny? It's gonna make you laugh, I think. So, did you see Rex Chapman's tweet about the lady who went down the slide and there was a shark at the bottom of it?
Oh, I saw it. That was scary.
Dude, I'm going to just ask
hell.
Where is the brown spot in the water is all I'm asking. Because I know that...
Does it float or sink? Does the brown spot float or sink?
Well, see, mine probably would have sunk. I think if you're healthy, they float. I don't know. But I'm just telling you, that would have been my mechanism to get the shark away. Just let everything horrible out of my body that I can. No, but did you see how calm she was? And have you seen this at all?
I have. She slid down and then...
She said it nudged her. By the way, this shark is a nurse shark. It's like a 8-foot nurse shark. It's
huge.
It swims right under it. By the way, did you hear the son? Mom, stay calm, stay calm. Dude, she was calm. You were nervous. She's like, I feel so honored that I got to be so close to that animal. Dude, I'm not joking with you. My pants would have been a wreck, and the water was so clear, people wouldn't be talking about the shark. They'd be talking about how it is that John has this crazy defense mechanism where he can turn the water brown so fast.
You're gross.
Dude, it's the truth. I'd have been that scared. I'd have tears.
Wait, so the
and
Nerf
everything.
sharks, do they do that? Are they known for attacks?
Do I look like I'm a marine biologist?
So from what I understand about those big Nerf sharks, I don't know if they attack, but they could, I guess. Theoretically, I bet
Can I
they
tell you
could.
something? They all these people that like sharks say, "Oh, sharks don't eat you." Okay, not very often.
You want to try it?
But if they confuse you with a seal or another swimming person in their thing, sharks kind of eat a lot of things. But anyway, when I saw that, I freaked out. Now I do want to do something, and I want to mention this this is very important. I've already told you about my friend Richard Coleman, the GreatCycleChallenge.com. He's going to drive 564 miles on his bicycle. Not drive. He's going to pedal. He is going to ride his bike to help fight childhood cancer. All you have to do, and I'm begging you, for Richard Coleman, for me, for all my people at Sports 56, Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. If you follow me on Twitter at Johnny_Radio or at G_Coon71, check out Richard Coleman. If you've ever had to deal with cancer, it's a bleep. I ain't gonna lie to you. It is and if you haven't had somebody that's had to deal with it, or even if yourself hadn't had to deal with it, you're a very blessed individual. But we're going to try and fight it. We're going to kick it in the teeth. And Richard Coleman, he's currently 5th in the state. I want my friend Richard to be number 1. I want him to be the number 1 person, the number 1 in raising money in the state of Tennessee. TheGreatCycleChallenge.com. It's going on. Please go to Johnny_radio and donate. Please donate. And then last but not least, before I get to one other funny thing, shout out to my good friend Bob Rowan. A lot of people who are Tigers fans or Tiger people or media or players or just people who have been around the Tiger program for a long time know Bob. Bob's a really good guy. He's at the hospital. He had post-op recovery from a little bit of pain. His knee is messed up, but they fixed it. He is hopefully going to be heading home soon. And I just wanted to tell him, thanks for listening. We always love you. And I hope you get well soon, Bob. So I just wanted to wish you well. Now, Gabe, are you ready to get back to stupidity?
Of course.
Why in the bleep? Can I ask you a question, in all honesty?
Yeah.
Have you heard about Michael Irvin comparing CeeDee Lamb to Kevin Durant? Saying that I don't know if this is old news. I don't know when this came out. It just came across my Twitter. I wrote it down earlier because I've made some asinine statements in my life. I really have. But Michael Irvin, how high on yayo did he have to be to say that, man, the Cowboys getting CeeDee Lamb was just like the Warriors getting Kevin Durant? So wait a second. Did he just guarantee that the Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl the next couple of years? Is that what he just did? Because of CeeDee Lamb? And he's not even the best wide receiver on his team? Am I crazy? Or is just Michael Irvin high?
He's got it. That's some grade A quality.
He's some
crap.
grade A quality.
I look, man, like, why you can't compare basketball and football? It's like not a possible comparison. You can't. It's like the ultimate team sport of football. You have 11 people, 3 facets of the game. You cannot compare that to basketball. You just can't. I don't what's he talking about?
Now, the most important thing that I'm going to do before I go to the break is Florida State wide receiver Warren Thompson. He alleges the team is lying about COVID-19. He says they're putting my well-being in jeopardy. Does not speak very highly of Mike Norvell at all. He's not the first person. It looks like there's a lot of media members who are also speaking pretty, let's just be honest, they're just telling you the truth about Mike Norvell, sadly. But there's a guy who knows him very well. His name is Gabe Kuhn. And I just want to ask you, do you think he has a chance to make it down in Tallahassee, or is that whole...
Look, he's a smart guy, real smart guy. But I'll tell you what, he cannot figure out the fact that in Tallahassee you have rabid media, you have rabid fans, you have rabid players. You cannot get away with certain things there, okay? And I don't want to get too far into depth, but I'm going to say...
You're not surprised?
Not very surprised.
Now, can I ask you to remind you, to just let you know what this man has said? Basically, he says that the leadership has lied. My coach has lied to me, okay? During the entire week of camp, I've been lied to, not just one time, but multiple times, about conditions of other players, about my health as well, my own damn health. It's been shown to myself and the rest that our leadership is based off I mentality, with them only worried about their own future rather than the well-being of their athletes. Meaning who? Coach Norvell. That is a very...
We're 2 incidents in the same offseason before he's played a game.
Yes, he hadn't even played a game. Don't forget, Thompson, allegations come just days after DJ Matthew confirmed on social media that he tested positive corona, where he said the coach lied to him and said that he didn't. They also have lineman Andrew Baselli, whose test came back in March, and he's like, yeah, I told the players that I had COVID. Well, why did the coaches go out there and say none of their players have had COVID? Again, who is lying? And then this is what he says. The lies from our leaders have backed me into a corner, putting myself, my well-being in jeopardy. The neglect to respond to this issue is very concerning and why I've drawn attention to it. I've put 1,000% into this team and my craft. I got too much to prove to the world, and this problem is growing greater, potentially preventing me from that happening because I've spoken up. I'm going to tell you right now, he says he's not going to stand for it. He's not going to stand for what, Gabe? Sounds like he ain't going to stand for Mike Norvell's BS. Does that, I mean, he put it out there.
Well, it's pretty clear, yeah.
I think it's
pretty clear
unequivocally
exactly what he's
clear.
talking about.
And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm so glad Ryan Silverfield is the head coach at the University of Memphis. And I will tell you one thing, I enjoyed Mike Norvell. I'm not trying to, throw the man under the bus. But again, Memphis, you were coddled. A lot of the stuff didn't get out. Some of the media members were too concerned about getting close to you than actually reporting the news.
Well, some things came out. You remember the
yes,
Hunter Hill incident?
Hunter Hill came out, yes.
But
there
were certain
fast
things.
it disappeared?
Guys getting kicked off the team. That wasn't really investigated on a lot of situations. But look, I'm not trying to throw out ridiculous accusations of anything.
Just tell me honest.
I'm just telling you, it's not overly surprising that he's in a rabid environment and these players are trying to call him out. That's all I'm going to say.
By the way, just remember, don't lie and expect your players to have your back. Hey, I'm going to tell a huge lie, but I expect my players to cover for me. It don't work like that down in Tallahassee, homie. And especially if you keep lying to the players. Isaac Simpson, he's coming up next. Why? Because the Grizzlies play at 3 o'clock. Believe Memphis. Believe Memphis. This is Sports 56. Never forget MemphisFarmers.com. Chad Gallen, my good buddy, and 96.1 and 87.7 FM.
It's R&R on Sports.
The word is out about R&R on Sports, where you've heard interviews from Ken Griffith Jr., Dr. J, Hank Aaron, and many, many more. R&R on Sports, Saturday mornings, 10 a.m., Sports 56, 87.7, and 96.1. Don't miss us.
If ever there was a time for comfort food, this is it. And there's no comfort food like Sunrise on Jefferson. Fresh-made breakfast featuring Sunrise's signature homemade square biscuits or the huge selection of hot, fresh, and fast lunch items are all part of what has always made Sunrise the most comforting of comfort foods in Memphis. Of course, everything that can be done to keep you and the staff safe at Sunrise is a top priority. And you can always order ahead and get delicious Sunrise to go. At a time this confusing, it's good to know there's one thing you can count on: Sunrise.
Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Mortgage. Making the right financial decisions has never been more important. When you turn to Rocket Mortgage, we can help guide you to those right decisions now, when they matter most. Mortgage rates are near historic lows, so now is a great time to call 8338-ROCKET. And if you need some extra money, a cash-out refinance could give you that financial boost you're looking for. Call today at 8338-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com to learn more.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season is ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, or even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, call us before you call your insurance company at 867-0303. That's 867-0303, and we will provide a free, thorough inspection of your roof's condition.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Progressive presents The Sounds of the Old World.
The year is 2019, and someone is getting up to use the bathroom at the stadium.
Excuse me? Excuse me? Oh, sorry. Excuse me? Mind if I just squeeze by here?
This has been The Sounds of the Old World.
Brought to you by Progressive, where drivers can still switch and save like it's 2019.
Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
We are Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. As well as online around the world at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere on your phone or tablet by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, tell Google or Alexa to play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. Now back to Johnny Radio's Happy Hour.
Kick it over here. Kick it.
On Sports 56 and 87.7 FM. Here's your host, John Harden.
Shackles, ball and chain.
Listen to the whistle of the evening train. Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm happy. I believe Memphis. I got my Believe Memphis beautiful, what do you call these things again? Oh, COVID-19 mask. But it says Believe Memphis, so it's kind of styling and profiling.
You could just call it a mask.
Hey, by the way, did you see how I put mine on and took a picture this morning? And then I put It's Time to Grind? Notice I didn't have a shirt on. No, I'm kidding. Never mind. But anyway, I kill myself. Why do I say some certain things? Honey, forgive me. I love you, dear. But no, it is time to talk about grinding. It's time to talk about grit and the grind, the grit and the grind. And guess what? There's no Giannis from a headbutt. There's a lot on the line. But I will say we got to talk about what's going down, what this means, what's going to happen. And guess what? The game starts in T-minus 27 minutes exactly. Isaac Simpson, my good friend, joins me now. How's my brother doing?
Man, I'm doing good. How you doing, John?
Dude, I'm doing so good. By the way, I got to say I've been enjoying your tweets this weekend at Isaac_Rivals. Check him out. You've been very honest, and that's what I also like about Isaac. You respond to people.
Try to be.
You talk to them, and you don't fill them as much with full of you know what, because I just go more on like attacks and I'm a jerk. You actually give out information. I do a lot more retweeting and stuff. But, man, I'm telling you, if you want to know something about anything that has to do with Memphis, and I'm talking about the Grizzlies, I'm talking about the Grizzlies, the Tigers, football and basketball team, the Lady Tigers. I'm talking about if you care about baseball, my man loves the White Sox. Heck, he can even tell you about Jerry Jones. Did you hear Jerry Jones on today? He joined Gabe.
Yeah, I did hear that.
That was hilarious, by the way. That was hilarious.
It was.
But, man, I'm telling you, at Isaac_Rivals, give him a follow and also listen to TSR Live. It's one of the best things you can listen to, and you will learn a lot. But Memphis Athletics and the Grizzlies belong to Isaac. Isaac, before we get into Mike Oresco, COVID-19, football, basketball, are we going to have this? We got a game at 3 o'clock. We got a game at 3 o'clock. If the Grizzlies win this junt, the Grizzlies are in. Period. Doesn't matter what anybody else does. Even Portland. They will either be the 8 or the 9 with a win. With a win and a Portland loss, they move into 8. I don't see Portland losing to the Nets. Now, do we need to even pretend that there's a chance like that? Because can Brooklyn even beat Portland?
I mean, there's always a chance. I definitely wouldn't hold my breath. I mean, I'll be tuned in to see if that miracle can happen, but I wouldn't bank on it. I think the best shot. I think the Grizzlies are going to have to go in there to get a win today, hopefully, and go in the 9th seed. I mean, I think the odds will be stacked against them. Beat Portland twice the way they're playing right now, but I mean, only thing you can ask for is a chance. It's better than not having no chance, in my opinion.
I know a lot of people are going to say, I can't believe that's all you want. I just want to see Saturday at 1:30 on ABC. Yeah. Portland and the Grizzlies go at it, and I want to see a good game. I don't care if Portland wins it, because I actually tell you the truth, I really want to see Portland and the Lakers play in the first round, because I just think that would be a hell of a matchup the way Dame Time's playing right now. You got Yusuf Nurkic doing his thing. If C.J. McCollum can ever get going, and Carmelo, where the hell did this come from? Carmelo looks like a different ball player. I'm liking this Portland team. Don't get me, I'm a Grizzlies fan, but dude, don't you believe that this Portland team, like with the addition of Melo, and if C.J. McCollum can find his shot, can Portland beat the Lakers?
Man, as being a fan of basketball, man, you have to like what's going on with Portland. I mean, they're just playing out of their mind right now. I mean, Dame, after the situation with the Clippers, I mean, he's just gone scorched earth since then. 61 points the other night. I mean, Carmelo, the resurgence of him, I mean, looking like 22, 23-year-old Carmelo. You got Terry Trent Jr. playing really well. I mean, those guys are Nurkic is playing really well. I mean, those guys are really playing good basketball right now. And I think they could give the Lakers a run for their money. I really do. But as far as the Grizzlies, I think a lot of fans and media members that cover the Grizzlies have kind of said, well, I'm just kind of ready for this to be over with. I'm not interested in them backing into the play-in. But I think, especially with a young team, I think playing in these high-leverage games is good for them. And I'm kind of a proponent for you play as long as you can. I mean, even if you think they're going to go in there and get killed by Portland, man, just go in there and have that opportunity. You got young guys like Ja and the young guys on this team. I think it's good experience for them going forward to play in high-leverage games like that. I think it's good for them. Whether they lose or win or lose, I think it's good for them. And, I mean, again, just have that opportunity. You never know what can happen.
And I'm also just one of those guys that, I'm with you, and I want to see the Grizzlies doing their thing, but I will tell you, with Portland, I just don't see Timothy Luau Cabaret or whatever his name is, or a Spencer Dinwiddie or a Chris Chiozza actually being able to carry this team past an unbelievable Portland team, and Damian Lillard's just playing at such a high level. Now I got to ask you right now, Taylor Jenkins. You know what's going on with his team. You know that you ain't got no Trey J. You know about, like, the injuries. You know about, you got Dylan Brooks and John Moran out there doing their things. But my question is today, what are they going to see from this Bucks team without Giannis? Is Chris Middleton going to even play? What do you expect this Bucks team to do, and how do you expect them to handle this game? Because I hate to say this, people have seen injuries from Ben Simmons to even Joel Embiid kind of tweaking himself the other night. Like, you saw Giannis lose his mind one day, and this is a guy who's had 3 technicals in his entire career and then headbutt something like he's Zinedine Zidane. So things can happen. Would you think that Milwaukee keeps this thing so damn close to the vest that it's not even funny?
I mean, it's been interesting. I mean, it seems like all the other teams fight for the 8th spot. They've caught breaks with teams resting guys. When they play the Grizzlies, teams seem to play their full complement of players. I mean, Brad Stevens.
Like with Boston, that made me so mad.
I don't know what was going on there. I mean, he even had a little scare where Giannis kind of came down on him after a jump shot, and Jason Tatum, he still kept him in the game after that. I mean, he was playing with fire there. It surprised me. Played him deep into the fourth quarter. It just seems like the Grizzlies don't ever get those breaks, but they're finally getting one today. I mean, Giannis with the suspension. I think Ilyasova is out today. Wesley Matthews is out. George Hill is out. I think Chris Middleton is going to play. According to Mike Budenholzer. So I think that's the kind of the guy that you worry about going off. I mean, Grizzlies always seem to catch guys having these career nights. Like you might see Middleton go for 40 today. That's the kind of thing we're used to seeing with Memphis when it seems like they catch a break. But I mean, the opportunity is there. I mean, there's kind of no excuses now for this team. They should be able to beat this Bucks team. I think the line went from Bucks -4.5.
They're now a 3-point dog.
-3.
Yeah. Grizzlies are a 3-point favorite. People are putting their money on it. Now, actually, hold up. Grizzlies, guess what? They're a 4-point favorite currently.
4-point favorite now?
Yeah, right now, this very moment, money is coming in on the Grizzlies. And again, Giannis has a suspension. You mentioned Wes Matthews day-to-day, Ilyasova, George Hill. I don't know if they're necessarily injured or this more precautionary situation. But I'm pretty sure Milwaukee wants to go in healthy. They can't get any better. They are the number 1 team in the East, period. Now, Grizzlies fighting like a mug. What do you give them their chances? Like Saturday, let's say the Grizzlies win today and they pull it out. Saturday, if they just go out there and fight and show a good game, isn't this something this is what I keep saying. The bubble got me a little bit crazy. I think the fact that they started out so hot, I got Ja Morant fever. Brandon Clark was playing great. Dylan Brooks was doing things, got the new contract. They got J-Dub. Like all these things. Jonas Valanciunas was playing in a way that I didn't expect he could. And Taylor Jenkins was doing a great job as a coach. I think Taylor Jenkins learned a lot about coaching basketball down here in the bubble. I also think that these young men learned how to play and the difference and what it takes to become a real winner. So I think this is a win-win situation. Do you feel, though, that the fans, will they look at this if the Grizzlies don't make the 8th seed and at least make the play-in game? Will they look at this year as a success?
Hey, they should. I mean, again, because we've talked about this so much. I mean, this team was projected to win 25-26 games over under in Vegas coming to the season. I mean, we were discussing, could they hold on and keep that top 6 protected pick from Boston and have that thing conveyed next year. And, I mean, they came out and, I mean, this young team, and, I mean, you saw it from the beginning. They struggled a little bit in the beginning, but you could see that they were a little bit better than they should be. And eventually they just kind of matured into, they started winning games. And, I mean, it became, I think we kind of got spoiled. I think, again, the expectations were low coming in. And then once they started winning games, I think winning makes you feel differently about a team. And I think a lot of fans, if they don't make that play, I think some fans would be disappointed if they shouldn't be. Because, again, I think this team is 2-3 years ahead of where they should be right now. I mean, this was supposed to be a complete rebuild, and then we are fighting for an 8th seed. So even if they don't, I mean, even if they had won, just winning 30, 35 games, I think was overachieving for what we thought the team would be. So if they don't make that play, and I think fans should take it, this team has one of the brightest futures in the league. I mean, you have 2 of your core guys in John Moran and Jaren Jackson Jr. and some other pieces there. I think they could be part of this future. I mean, the future is bright. I mean, this is just the beginning. So even if they don't make that plan, I think fans should be happy with what happened this year. But unfortunately, I think there are going to be some fans that are disappointed because I think once you start winning, you create some of these expectations, even though if they might be unfair and inflated at times.
All right, now I got to switch gears because we know that we think the Grizzlies are going to win. We think the Bucks are going down. We think we're going to play a Portland 130 on ABC on Saturday. That's how we both believe. But now I got to ask you about this. I feel like the NCAA, who I've been making fun of all year, saying that they have no backbone, the reason that college football is even in threat is because there's a lack of leadership from the NCAA. When you don't have leadership, you don't have an opportunity. You don't have a snowball's chance, and you know what? Look how the NCAA, and look how the NBA's done. Look at what hockey's done. Look what UFC has done. Look what the NFL's working to do. And baseball, who started off with the Miami Marlins, horrible outbreak. Marlins are back in it. They won again last night, baby. Don't play with them Marlins. Yes.
First place, man.
Dude, and by the way, they scared me. I had money on the Marlins last night. When they tied that jut in the ninth, I almost fell over. Glad they won in the 10th. But anyway, point is, when you look at all this stuff, do you feel that this is basically a lack of leadership? And I wanted to ask you this, though. The question with the NCAA basically trying to come out, it feels like, with their last opportunity to flex their muscles. I feel like they were trying to send a warning to the ACC, the Big 12, the SEC, to Mike Oresco and the American, to the last 3 FCS schools that are still available, like Southern, the Ohio Valley, et cetera, and basically tell all those people, hey, Dr. Carlos Del Rio, they brought out Brian Hanline, the NCAA chief medical officer. They brought in Dr. Colleen Kraft. They do this whole thing on TV talking about, the transmission of the virus, the mask, social distancing, all this stuff. And did this to you feel like a last-ditch effort at the NCAA trying to hold on to any power? Because I feel like this was unequivocally 100% not about necessarily the kids, but I feel like this was the last chance that they were trying to say is we've got power. And if everybody else just kind of blows them off, does this pretty much end the NCAA?
Man, I think it could definitely be the beginning. I mean, we were even before this happened, we were already kind of talking about, you look back at the James Wiseman situation and kind of the way that played out. And I think the stars might be aligning for us to finally get changed with this. And I think I agree with you. I think that was the NCAA trying to make a power move to kind of prove that they're the ones in charge of this. And
I don't think it's going to happen.
No, I don't either. I don't think it's going to happen. I think this is the beginning of a change, and we've needed this for so long. I mean, the NCAA always touts that they're for the student athlete, and we have their best interests at heart. The only thing the NCAA is trying to do is line their pockets. They don't care anything about these kids, their safety. It doesn't have anything to do with that. It's all about them and their wishes and them lining their pockets. And again, I do think this could be beginning of change. Maybe this is just something karma catching up with them. And I think something had to happen to force them to change. And I think we might be heading in that direction right now. And I think we're all going to be better for it.
And by the way, if it wasn't just a power play, and personally, in my opinion, do you think they would have not just spent time talking basically about the big 3? Don't you think they would have spent, instead of just slowly mentioning the American, slowly mentioning the other FCS schools, like the way that they did and going just directly at the ACC, the Big 12, and the SEC? That, to me, basically proved that they don't care about the kids or their mission statement because they went after the people with money. You know what I mean? Like
100%.
It's just to me it was a sad display of basically power, influence, and arrogance in somebody who feels like they're about to lose it.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a corrupt organization, man. I can't. It's when you sit back and think about it, it's crazy that this has gone on this long.
Yep.
But it's almost like they have the ultimate power, and it's just kind of hard for anybody to do anything about it. But I think now they're going to be forced. They're going to be backed into a corner to kind of change this, or it's not going to work. I mean, we've seen all kind of things. Even you look at the G League and how it's playing out with basketball. I think that really put things into perspective and question for them as well. I think they're going to be forced to change, man, and I can't wait. Couldn't happen to a better organization.
Totally agree. Isaac Simpson, can I tell you something, man? I could listen to you all day long, all day strong, but I know you got a game to get ready for. T-minus 13 minutes and counting. Get ready for the Grizzlies. It's going down for real as they play the Bucks. And then hopefully, 8 o'clock, maybe the Nets show up. Let's just be real.
We'll see.
We'll see. But let's just get that win with the Grizzlies. And last but not least, Brian Silverfield. I can't believe I'm about to ask you this. Did you see the Florida State stuff?
I did, man.
How happy right now, honestly, are you to have Silverfield over Norvell?
Man, it has not been a fun trip, a fun stay down in Tallahassee so far for Mike Norvell, man. He's going through it down there, man. I know the FSU organization, I know they wish they could rethink things, but they're kind of locked into it right now. But, man, it's been a lot going on down there, man. And I'm glad we have Ryan Silverfield. I don't think we're going to be having any scandals with him or anything like that.
Me neither.
To look forward to at Memphis.
God, it feels so good to be a Memphis Tiger fan and a Grizzly. They're about to win at 3 o'clock. I'm telling you, I think American's going to play. I think we're going to see some basketball this year. I think we're going to see some football. I think we're going to have a good damn day. And all that baseball talk where me and you were talking about gloom and doom. The Mets are beating the Nationals 7-2 today. We got baseball going on all day. And let's just be real. Is it time to go ahead and cut the Cardinals out?
Man, they're scheduled to play my start a 3-game series with my White Sox tomorrow, man. I haven't heard
think
anything
it's going to
on that,
happen? That's right. That's why I'm asking you.
I don't think so. And I think if they can't play this weekend, I think that's it. I mean, would it be 15 games? How are you going to make all those games up? That kind of puts the strain on the other teams they have to play as well. I don't see how you make all those games up.
I don't either. Hey, do me a favor, Isaac. Stay healthy, stay well, be strong out there, and everybody follow him at Isaac_Rivals. We'll talk next Thursday. And until then, be good, my brother.
Will do, man. Talk to you next week.
That's my buddy Isaac Simpson. We're late for a break. We'll be right back. Always remember 901-406-1101. That's wide, 901-406-1101. Any house, any area, as is, as simple as that. You want to get your house sold? Bing, bang, boom. 901-406-1101. Call Bill at I Buy Houses. Guaranteed to close in 5 days. Who else is going to get you your cash in 5 days? Nobody. Give him a call. Bill at I Buy Houses. This is Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7 FM.
Want to get your voice heard? Hit us up on the First Bank phone line or First Bank text line.
Hi, I'm Greg Gaston for Window Genie. Window Genie is a trusted name in window cleaning, but they do so much more. They can take care of your home or business. They clean interior and exterior windows with a streak-free guarantee. They clean gutters, do pressure washing and house washing. They can also clean and seal concrete, brick, and natural stone. Locally owned and operated, insured and bonded. Get your free estimate today and ask for the Sports 56 discount. Call 901-424-4100 and leave the dirty work to Window Genie.
It's the Summer of Performance event at Acura of Memphis. Acura's entire lineup sets the luxury and performance standard, like the award-winning sedan, the Acura TLX, or the 3-row 7-passenger SUV, the Acura MDX, or Acura of Memphis's top-selling luxury crossover, the Acura RDX. Aggressive pricing, customized lease options, and low financing rates are at Acura of Memphis. Don't miss these deals. Visit AcuraofMemphis.com.
Save now on your 2021 swimming pool at Family Leisure. Buy now at 2020 pricing and save your spot for the first installation of 2021. Patio furniture 20 to 30% off. Play gyms in stock. Beat the heat with an indoor game table or slate pool table. Pool toys and floats up to 30% off. Family Leisure, Whit Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
Well, family and fun come together.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. As well as online around the world at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere on your phone or tablet by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, tell Google or Alexa to play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned to real sports talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
Got something you want to get off your chest?
You better have a backup plan.
Want to join the conversation?
Someone needs to tell him he has to grow up.
Join us on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255 or the First Bank text line at 67129. Now back to Johnny Radio's Happy Hour.
Let's go!
On Sports 56 and 87.7 FM. Here's your host, John Harden.
Scaled the grand old face of the plateau. Some belong to strangers and some to folks you know. Holy ghosts and talk show hosts are planted in the sand to beautify the foothills, shake the many hands. There's nothing on the top but a bucket and a mop and an illustrated book about birds. You see a lot up there, but don't be scared. Who needs action when you got words?
Welcome back into a little Sports 56 happy hour with your good buddy Johnny Radio, and of course at G_Coon71. That's my good friend Gabe Coon. That's right, at G_Coon71, the man who played offensive line for so many years at the University of Memphis. Now, speaking of a man who played a lot of football, I found out a man named, we talked about this, Mr. Silverand, Kima Silverand, how we talked about how he's fired by the Seahawks for allegedly trying to sneak a woman into the team hotel. I just want to ask you in all honesty, Gabe Coon, you have seen a lot of stupidity, like a lot of dumb things that have happened. Do you have any story of camp that you can share with us?
You're not about to do this to me, man.
I wasn't going to do. I have to. I just want to. Just one that you can say on air. I know I'm a jerk. I told you it was the last segment of the day. I'm going to make it painful.
Look, man, like these are secrets.
These
I
are
can't.
secrets.
I'll just say that there's some of that going on, but it doesn't get caught. These are secrets, man. You got to be careful.
Tinder now is.
I'm not about to divulge this information, man. We got to get a couple more years down the road before I'm comfortable.
Okay, deal. Dig that. Now I want to ask you one other question. If you were a coach of a a college football team right now, would you have a couple people who did a fake Tinder profile and went after your players just to see what they were doing on their Tinder action? Like you put out a hottie and pretend to like all your football team. And
you catfish your own players?
I would catfish the hell out of them. I'm telling you right now, dude, these guys are idiots when it comes to
Not a bad
media.
idea. They probably wouldn't do it again.
They were,
if you caught them.
Dude, could you imagine saying like you put on and by the way, can you help me? What is WAP you and Drew were talking about?
Well, we're going to talk about it off the air.
Oh,
you got me messed up right now. Why are you doing this to me right now?
Because we were talking about how you have to go to practice and how tired you were in the last segment of the day.
Last segment of the day, you just wanted to make it as painful as possible. I hear you.
And I do that on one reason, because Gabe will be back tomorrow with Drew Barrett from 10 to 1. They're filling in tomorrow as well for middays. It was a great show today. My man Drew's going to fill in for Wolo today, so it's going to be Drew and Stats. It's going to be another great day from 3 to 6 at Sports Time. But make sure you tune in early with my man Anthony Sane, and I guess we can call him a.k.a. Jerry Jones, Peter Edmiston. And then again, don't forget.
I'm still kicking myself for not saying
so
Jerry
funny.
Jones is joining us on the phone.
That would have been so good. I do have to admit, if you miss what we're talking about, don't worry, because you can check us all out. All you have to do is go to sports56whbq.com. You can check out the podcast, follow any of us on Twitter. You can miss anything that we are talking about. We had a great talk with Isaac Simpson today about basketball and the American and Ryan Silverfield. Me and Gabe, I thought, dropped a hardcore Hardenwood. Drew and Peter and Drew and Gabe and a.k.a. Jerry Jones, they made me laugh and cry. Sane and Peter were great. But again, we're always rocking and rolling right here. But before I get off the air, I do want to say one more thing. Richard Coleman, I brought him on very beginning of the show at 105. The Great Cycle Challenge. Please, the Great Cycle Challenge is the real. Go to greatcyclechallenge.com. Give him a follow. He's going to ride 564 miles this month on his bicycle. He's currently 5th in the state. Let's make him number one. Come on, happy hour fans. Help make him number one. Go to greatcyclechallenge.com. Let's do this. Let's fight childhood cancer. Let's kick the tar out of it, just like the Grizzlies are about to do to Milwaukee. But before I get out of here, BrianElderRoofing.com, 901-867-0303. That's 901-867-0303. Commercial, residential roofing, whatever you think. Your house is the biggest investment. Your job is the biggest investment. If you have an issue with your roof, it could become the biggest nightmare of your life. Not if you call 901-867-0303. That's 901-867-0303. Brian Elder Roofing. Man, Gabe Kuhn for John Harden. Go Grizzlies. We're going to get out of here, but whatever you do, make this world a better place. We'll see you on the flip side. Peace.
Is your wife